Welcome one, welcome all. It is I, NK Surge, and today I probably look like shit, but I come to tell you guys the story of something I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now. Actually, this was actually something really cool that I got to do um, less than 24 hours ago. Uh, so I kind of want to go and say the story about it. So I guess this is more of a vlog video or story time video, I guess.
Story time.
Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, and I mean once a week. I would go to locals every week, pretty much. I believe it was Fridays when we used to have it at our one local game shop. There was one on Fridays. There was one on Thursdays. There was I know that I remember the schedule. I just don't it's been okay. I don't quite remember the schedule, but I remember days from different shops. But yeah, so I used to play this a lot, and because I used to play it a lot, and I used to actually go to locals and play everybody once a week, do 4 rounds most of the time. I always wanted to go to a regional. I always kind of knew that nationals was kind of far off for me, especially because I don't want to invest that much into a card game. But regionals was always something that I was very interested in, because it always seemed like a lot of fun, something really cool to do. And there were some stories from regionals from Yu-Gi-Oh that kind of got me to rethink doing regionals and shit like that. But point is, at one point we just kind of stopped exactly playing Yu-Gi-Oh. We still play it on random times. A couple of weeks ago, I think we were just hey, let's fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh. And we still play it, but not as much as Digimon. Digimon is pretty much we don't go to local as much as we would like to, but Digimon has pretty much become our new Yu-Gi-Oh in a sense. Uh, and because of that, we decided. Oh fuck. We decided. And because of that, Digimon is the thing that became my okay. We didn't get to do it for Yu-Gi-Oh. I for sure want to do it with Digimon, and we wanted to really do it this year because the previous rewards for regionals had an alt art for Magnadramon, this card that I play in one of my decks, and I was like, "Ooh, if I want a max rarity in my deck, I need that card." We obviously didn't end up going to that, but luckily for us, a regional ended up happening here at our at pretty much locals. Pretty much, we went to a way bigger locals, and that is what I found out regionals really are. They're just a super exploded locals, because my local scene, every Friday that I go, is usually somewhere around lowballing 9 to highballing 16 players. I completed in a tournament with 47 players. So yeah, that's like I said, it's pretty much just a bigger locals. And I'll explain a couple of the reasons why I say that, because I'm sure other regionals that may happen are super sweat fests that I swear I did not just try to call out the One Piece TCG when I did that. I just want the Thousand Sunny to be showing. Um, but I know for sure there's some regionals that are one, maybe bigger than what the fuck we did today, and two, way sweatier. But before we even get to the regionals, I do kind of want to go back and tell the story kind of in 3 steps. So let's rewind all the way back to Thursday. On Thursday, not even Thursday, actually, super flashback to Monday. I find out that the regional is actually this Saturday, and that the person that was gonna tell us, it probably flew over his head. Maybe he didn't have the information anymore, or maybe he was just too busy, and That's perfectly fine. Everyone gets busy from time to time, and like you forget to do things. So I barely like found out the information, and like so much shit happened. Now we come back to Thursday. I'm pretty much solo flying this regionals. Gachuga ended up having an appointment already. A date. We'll actually get to that. That's kind of that's part of the story on its own. We'll get back to the Gachuga thing when it comes time to that. And then I asked Jem like, hey, I told you guys early in the week. As soon as I found out, I told you guys. Are you and me doing regionals? And he also was like, you know what, man? It's the entrance fee is $20, and like to get my ass kicked. Nah, dude, I'm not doing it. I'll be there for you. You know, I was like, thanks, bro. Thanks, that's cool. Like, which would have been fine. I would have liked the support. But so I'm pretty much I'm like very nervous because like I'm treating it like if it was gonna be like super sweaty and shit. Which in the like top table I'm pretty sure it did, but like we'll get there. I was treating this like it was gonna be super sweaty, and I was just like the entirety of Thursday pretty much was just me testing my deck, playing my deck. How many L's can I take? How many wins can I take with the deck? Testing, moving shit around. Like, what the fuck can I do to improve the deck? That deck being Machine Dramon. Yeah, that deck being Machine Dramon, the runner-up for this video that we did, the tournament with all my decks, which it would be a completely different video nowadays. Like Apoclymon and Omegamon themselves are like really fucking good, but like Sephagamon as well. Like, okay, whatever. I'm getting out of track. I'm rambling. So I'm just testing the entire time, and the entire time that I'm testing, I'm in a call with Turtle and with Gem.
Hi.
And when they get off, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go grab some food, and maybe I can actually switch decks. Instead of trying Machine Dramon, I'll try Apoclymon. So I got my food, I queued up, I said I'll do a couple of matches with my Apoclymon, and I'll go to sleep. That was at like 3:30 in the morning. I went to sleep like at 7 that day. I got like 2 wins with my Apoclymon, and everything else throughout those 4 hours, was all else. So we went back to Machine Dramon. On Friday, I woke up. I got breakfast, and I was about to start editing, but I usually have my PlayStation on with YouTube as for background noise while I'm editing and doing stuff. And that's when I started getting called out in a group chat that Turtle with all the boys have. And Gachuga's also getting called out because apparently I still had the application for Fortnite open. So Turtles thought that me and Gachuga were playing Fortnite. And I was like, wait, Gachuga's playing Fortnite? Turtles was like, yeah, this PlayStation says so. And I was like, no way, I'm going to make a party, see if he joins. And he joined. So we did a couple of matches, and this Friday that this all happened was the Tyson Paul fight. Yeah, it's the Tyson Paul fight, which we'll get there. We'll get there. How many times have I said we'll get there in this video? I just added 3 of those to that. I'm not putting a counter, but one of you guys keep track. And on that, I'm like, while you're down there keeping track of that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. I have a lot of fucking cool shit coming out in December. This is probably gonna be I uploaded at the beginning of November. This is probably gonna be my second video in November, so that's pretty cool because I'm planning on uploading this like almost immediately. But yeah, so me and Gachuga played a couple of matches of Fortnite before he had to come pick me up, so that we can go watch the Tyson Paul and have a housewarming party for Turtle because he just recently moved. Um, I needed a shower, and I still needed to grab my stuff for the regional and stuff like that. When I remembered, hey, I have this card, Proto X Antibody. It's going for around $50. I need to take this for trade fodder to the regional. And while I was looking for this fucking card, I ended up seeing some cards that gave me a eureka moment that said, I can make this deck possible with this one card. I think I know what I gotta do. So I grabbed all my War Greymon stuff and all my stuff from BT17 Omegamon, alongside the EX4 Black Goblimons, and just like fucking threw everything out of my bag, and or at least everything I thought. And then I like showered like crazy. Like I had to leave my keys outside the house so Gachuga could come in because I was gonna be busy showering pretty much when he showed up. Luckily enough, I showered fast, and by the time I got out of the shower, Gachuga was barely showing up. So we're moving to the Tyson fight. We're going to the Tyson fight, and I'm telling Gachuga everything that I'm planning. And throughout this whole boxing event, and throughout this whole barbecue that we're having at Turtles, me and Gachuga are just fucking deck building this fucking this Omegamon that I am trying to like make, and testing hands, amazing. And me and Gachuga tried it, Machinedramon against Omegamon. First, he was piloting Machinedramon and I was playing Omegamon, and then we switched them around. And Machinedramon won both of those games, but it mostly was because Omegamon could not close the game after like one move. Foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. But regardless, we keep testing this deck. Like, we're watching the only fight that even got us like focused, had our attention on the fight, was Serrano versus Taylor. That was such a fucking good fight. I think Serrano got robbed, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about cardboard. We're talking about shiny cardboard. So throughout the Mike Tyson fight, me and Gachuga were just fucking deck play testing, and we realized that I can make the deck a bit more consistent if I got some more cards. So after everything at Turtles, we ran back to my house to pretty much ransack my house. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Chad, I usually have a mess, a bit of a mess behind camera. Like, you guys can't really see it right now, but there's usually a bit of a mess behind there. It currently looks like a tornado passed through my room, because that is pretty much what I did. I came back and I spent like 20-30 minutes looking for the couple of cards that would make the deck more consistent, and for the Proto X Antibody, because I still could not have fucking find it. And I actually wanted to play it in this deck now instead of having it for trade fodder. So I'm stressing, because not only did I not find the Proto X Antibody, I also couldn't find some of the cards that we needed to make the deck way more consistent. That is when Jem comes in. By the way, Jem decided to change his mind, and he would be partaking in the regional. He ended up getting some cards to boost up his deck, so I'm assuming that's what gave him a bit more of a confidence to do it. Plus the fact that regionals don't usually happen around us, so that was pretty cool. So Jem shows up, and I'm telling him, like, damn, I'm missing these cards, and it's so fucking sad, and he's like, bro, I have them. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I know. Boom. I was like, holy shit, the deck saved. So we pretty much ended up making the unanimous decision that Machine Dramon would not be the deck I would take, and it would be the Omegamon deck. And Jem was going to let me borrow his X-Proto antibody. I think I said it wrong, but who cares? But I said, no, I'll just play a regular X antibody. It's fine. It's fine. One's better in a way. It really, I feel like it depends on the deck, but I won't get into that here because I feel like I can go a full like 5 to 6 minutes talking about that, and whatever, I'm rambling again. I also have like my notes here that have like little drawings. I won't show the notes just yet because it has spoilers for what we're talking about. but yeah, so we do the final touches to the deck, play the clip. We were pretty much just playing games until fucking 6 in the morning. And at 6 in the morning, we stopped playing games, and I was preparing my binder to have my trade fodder. And as I'm going through my binder, putting in some cards that weren't in that trade binder before, some cards I know are expensive, or some cards that I know are alt-arts or something like that, or something that collectors would like. I passed my white option cards, and I was about to completely just turn the page and keep going because I think I was trying to put a tamer into one of the binders when Jem points out, "Hey, look, dude, it's your Proto X antibody." It was in my binder the whole fucking time. I didn't. Of course, I would have my of course, I would have a pricey card in the binder. Why the fuck was that not the first place I checked? Now I will show what my room currently looks like, because I didn't show it earlier because there was like, okay, he was looking for something. My dumbass, fucking smartest person in the room hoodie, actually professional dumbass, my fucking dumbass ransacked my room, made a mess on my bed that I have to clean up after fucking finishing recording this. If I really want to go to sleep, which I do, and we'll get to that, because like I said, we were up till 7 in the morning on Saturday. The regional was at 1 in the afternoon, and they asked us to be there at least 30 minutes in advance, but none of us had paid, and we want to get there a lot earlier to ensure that we paid, that like everything was fine. Which, by the way, at this point, Gachuga has rejoined the party. He pretty much made his peace with not being able to play the full regional and said, "Hey, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna get the promos from the regional, and it's all gonna be Gucci." So squad's good to go. Fucking Jem, Noble, Gachuga, Squad 7. We're squatted up. We're heading to regionals. We wake up at 10 in the morning, which we went to sleep at 7, so we have 3 hours of sleep. Jem was the first one to fully wake up because he went to shower. So Jem got like the 3 hours. I got 30 extra minutes of sleep because I was waiting for my turn to shower, and if Jem was just going to be in the shower, then might as well get 30 more minutes of sleep. Gachuga was the one that got the most sleep out of the three of us. Yeah, out of the three of us, because he got the extra 30 minutes, and then I think he got like some more 10 minutes. So he got like an extra 40 minutes of sleep. Showered, got ready, breakfast. We're heading to the regional, and we showed up 20 minutes ahead because there was traffic. Traffic. Dear God, traffic. And when we show up, for me personally, there really wasn't any issues. They did my deck check, everything was in place, so I was ready to just start shuffling. Gachuga, he needed to do a couple of changes to his deck, and Jem, I think, accidentally put a card incorrectly into his deck, so he also had to do a raid check. Turning back the clock a little bit, because I completely forgot about this, as you all know, what time we're in? We're somewhere around 20 minutes, I think. As you all know, I am a particular enjoyer of the marine iguanas. But the night before, when we were doing our final tests, when we were just getting some more games to get used to the deck, to the Omegamon deck, to do some final changes, adjustments, all that. While we were doing that, Jem went over all the rules. I wouldn't be allowed to smoke.
No smoking pot.
I would not be allowed to smoke because one of the rules is that your opponent, if your opponent suspects you of being either under the influence of alcohol or any drugs, they can judge call to get you checked on, and if the judge deems that you are indeed under one of those substances, I don't know how you check it, because we were talking to this with one of the judges. I'm pretty sure he would have just been like, oh yeah, we have this breathalyzer, like, or some shit. But no, he was kind of like, also like, oh, really? That's a thing? But yeah, it's a thing. If your opponent suspects you, he can judge call you. If the judge calls deems it, you can get DQ'd for it. So, before going out, and before going to the regional, I went out to not only call the nerves, but because I feel like I play better when I'm high.
Check this out.
And I'll explain that towards the end of the story, if I'm being honest, because towards the end of the story, it's when it kind of clicked to me. So fast forward, regionals. Like, we're already checked in. There's a couple of like delay issues because I think some people didn't show up in the end that were actually scheduled. Some people didn't have like, there was a lot of issues with the Bandai app. I think that's a very common thing though. And there was the store where this was all happening also had like a couple of events going on the same day. So like, like it was all good. Like, we started, I think 20 minutes later than, no, I think there's like a 10-minute leeway. So like we started like 10 minutes late than what we should have started. The fuck? I think there was like a bug laying next to my lighter, and like when I went to grab my lighter, I think it just like got scared and flew away. What the fuck? Editor, if you see the bug, like, did you see it? If it went on frame, because I did not know. I don't see where he flew. If not, then just cut this whole bug shit. Bug shit.
Negative, sir.
Everything was fine. And well, it started. Round 1. My round 1 was against a Hex Blaumon player, which had a little side of Tommy hybrid. Now, before I start talking about any of these matches, if any of my opponents from this regional watched, because like I'm literally wearing the same thing, I look the same like I did at the regional. Like, this is still going on. This is still part of the story. Like, the story will end with me ending this video. Because this is straight up just me after the regional. My friend's bride. Now you guys know I am under this, I have 3 hours of sleep. I'm being carried by Marine Iguana with a tinge of sploosh gamer subs, a tinge of sweet tea from Raising Cane's, which turned into a tinge of gamer subs guilty pleasure. That's what that is right now. I thought it'd be really funny to put the T1 into the Raising Cane's cup. I'm also running on coffee and Monster Energy. So yeah, I was not the most caffeinated person in that event, though. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny, though. Where I was going with those ramblings was that whatever I'm saying here is not a way to shit talk you or anything. Whether you win, whether you lost, whether you drew, it was all in good fun. It was all cool. That's the way of the game. Like I'm not like if it comes off like either A, salty, or B, like kind of like shit talky. A, it's probably because I'm salty. I'm a naturally salty person. I do get salty quite often. I think if you watch the streams, you will know that. Or if you've been watching me for long, you should know that as well. But B, like, I feel like I talk very aggressively sometimes, and I don't intend to be aggressive when I say that. I just, like, I guess choose the wrong words, because I like to cuss a lot. So, like, don't take anything I say here, like, oh, fuck you. You're such a fucking bitch. Fuck you. Bitch. Like, don't take it like that. I'm just, like, saying my experience. And anyway, so my first match was the Hex Blaumon with the side of Tommy. That's what, do it. Burger, Hex Blaumon, side of Tommy fries. Fuck you. And game one went super well. It went completely in my favor. I like won, like, I think that game one took us 10 minutes out of the 45-minute timer that we had per round. So I was like, okay, we're going into game two with 30 minutes. And if I play the same way I played game one, the match is mine.
Sounds easy enough.
And the match would have actually been mine, because like I did manage to play the same stuff that I played game one. The issue is I played a bit slower, and my opponent got a better hand, and he was able to swing into me a lot with jamming, and he was able to stall me enough that like a play that won me the game in 10 minutes ended up being a whole game that I did lose, and took 30 minutes. No. And took 35 minutes. So it's like, shit. As soon as we went to game 3, it was time. And when time is called in Digimon, you have either 5 extra minutes to decide the winner or turns. So if the winner isn't decided by 4 turns, so pretty much each player gets 2 turns, or like if those 4 turns go longer to go up to 5 minutes, the game ends, and it's a tie if the game can be decided within that time. So pretty much, time got called. We were barely going into game 3, like shuffling, and he already wanted to call the draw because he said his deck cannot kill in 2 turns, and I was like, I'm going second, right? He's like, yeah, you get to choose, you lose. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go second. So it would be turn 0 you, turn 1 me. It would end, turn 4 would be mine. Turn 3 would be mine. I can do it. I can kill. And he was like, you want to try it? I was like, it really depends on my hand. And I pulled out my hand and I was like, yeah, I can make this work. And my first draw kind of broke the hand, so I was like, no, we drew, bro. He's like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I can't kill you next turn. He's like, oh, shit. Good game. And it was a good game, and we drew, and it was a good game. It was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I liked the Hex Blaumon stuff with the side of, with the little side of Tommy. At first, I thought it was just Tommy. But that's because game 1 he didn't really get he didn't get his rookies. I think that's what happened also, that like slowed him down a lot, and slowed him down enough for me to just fucking blitz through his security. I don't think he was getting his rookies game 1. So that was pretty much round 1. We went to a draw, and to explain the score system real quick, when you win a match in Digimon, you gain 3 points. You lose, you don't get anything. But when you draw, both players get 1 winning point. So I got a winning point, he got a winning point. And at this point, I'm like, okay, how did the boys do? Gachuga took it in game 3. He actually ended up winning his match, and I was like, oh, let's go, Gachuga. Gem sadly lost his match, I believe. Yeah, I think no, he started getting better later on, but yeah, he lost his first match as well. So it was like, hey, I'm doing okay, I'm doing cool. Yeah, I'm not doing the best, but I'm doing good. I was like in my head like that, and then round 2 was Arteezy. That's not the name of the deck. That's the username of my opponent, because that's someone that's actually from my locals. So we got to play each other, and I thought that was really fun. But he was playing a deck that a lot of people hate. I don't personally hate it, but I do see why a lot of people do dislike it. It is the Mirage Galgamon version of the Grace Novamon deck. It's just really strong. It's just really strong. It can loop really well. It can gain a lot of memory. It's really strong, and I can understand why people hate it. Again, I don't really mind it, but it did 2-0 me. I did lose to it. God damn it. So fucking. I believe this was game 1. Game 1, I left him at 1 security with 1 check. I had this really nice War Greymon BT14 stack that swang for 4 checks and pretty much broke his security. He had one security left, and in hand I had the Omegamon that, if you play the TCG, you know what this does. If you don't, pretty much it unsuspends, which it reactivates the card and lets me declare another swing. Even if my turn's technically ended, it lets me swing again. So what we're going to do is attack with War Greymon, break that security, Omegamon Blitz to win. But he managed to freeze me. He managed to not make my War Greymon be able to suspend. And that was all he needed to bring it back. So I was really sad about that. But it was still pretty close. He was like, "Oh shit, if I don't," because he got rid of my War Greymon that on his turn, on his next turn, because he did his turn, froze my War Greymon. I couldn't really do shit with War Greymon, so I was working on another stack. And then on his next turn, he managed to delete my War Greymon, which was really sad. And then game 2, I did a pretty big misplay. I still think he would have won, but he insisted that he had nothing to deal with the Omegamon Ace. So my misplay was that I went into his Apollomon with my War Greymon for mutual destruction, because I was like, oh, I'm just going to get rid of it. But by doing that, I got rid of my opportunity to being able to go to the Omegamon Ace on his turn. So it was a misplay for me, but I still think I would have lost that match, just because I think that deck is a lot better than my deck, for sure. Check up on the boys. Gem sadly also lost his round, and Gachuga is now 2-0 through the tournament, and we told Gachuga, bro, you are undefeated. You can, because he was only going to do 2 rounds. We were like, you cannot leave if you're undefeated. You cannot leave. So he was like, okay, round 3. So we go into round 3. I get massacred. And I did not get massacred by my opponents. I got massacred by my deck. Let me explain. This is when I get to the point that a regionals is just a very expanded locals, because the way that I was given the impression of regionals when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that everyone you'll play is a motherfucking sweat. Everyone you play, obviously you still read your effects, you still tell your opponent your effects and stuff like that, but everyone you're playing should know their own effects, their own cards, and should have a basic understanding of your cards as well. That's what regionals was painted to me by Yu-Gi-Oh players. I sit down with this dude and he tells me, hey, sorry if I play a bit slow. I just like barely got into the game. Like I haven't really played this game much, and I was like, oh shit, don't worry about it, dude. It's all cool. It's all cool. And I was like, and yeah, it was all cool. Like he was really chill. I liked him a lot. He was a lot of fun to play against. And the way I got massacred that game was game one. My starting hand was Omegamon Alter B, Omegamon Merciful Mode, Omegamon X Antibody, and both my copies of the Omegamon Blitz. Can't do shit with those hands. Not early game. So he took it in like 3 turns. And like 3 rotations because my draws were also like an option card I couldn't play, a tamer that came too late, and a level 4. So like the level 4 and the tamer came way too late. And then game 2, he outsped the shit out of me. That's the game that I realized that my deck either plays too fast to the point that it burns out real quick, or it plays too fucking slow. So I was like, shit. Oh well, you took it, bro. And he's like, dude, you're gonna be my only win. And I was like, you better not make that come true, bro. He's like, no, dude, you're my only win right now, and you're gonna be my only win. And I was like, no, dude, nope, please don't, please. He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, no. And to do a checkup on the boys, I believe Jem also took the L here. And was this? No, I think this is where he took the L. And then Gachuga. This is the funniest. This is probably my favorite moment. This is probably my favorite moment of the whole regional, man. This part. At top table, there's 2 people from our locals. There is Gachuga, and there's another player called whose username is the Chicken, and not duh as in the, duh as in da, da Chicken. So me, Jem, and the Chicken's friends. I think one of the judges, who also is part of our local scene, and somebody else, we're all just like talking like, wait, the Chicken's undefeated? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, wait, Gachuga's undefeated? And it's like, yeah, Gachuga's undefeated. So like we're just looking at that table like, those two motherfuckers are our heroes. They need to keep winning. And that's when me and Jem revealed to them that Gachuga is actually planning on dropping because he has a date planned out already. Everyone just started fucking like, what? He's planning on leaving. He's undefeated right now. Like, even if he loses this, he's still contending for top 8. Which, in this regional, because of the amount of players, top cut instead of being top 4 was going to be top 8. So, like, everyone was like, even if he loses this, he still has a chance to make top cut. What the fuck is he thinking? What do you mean he's going to drop? Everyone's saying this shit. And we're like, hey, like, it's his choice. It's his choice. Like, do we agree with it? Nope. But it's his choice. He can do what he wants. Like, everyone was like, show up late. Like, because I believe Gachuga's partner likes Sanrio a lot. And the shop we were in had a couple of Sanrio stuff. So, like, one of my suggestions to Gachuga was like, show up late, but like take some Sanrio stuff, like a big ass plushie or something to make it better, dude. He didn't. At the end of that round, the Chicken kept carrying. Yeah, no, the Chicken kept carrying. He went 3-0 at that point, and Gachuga took his first L. And he didn't retire because like saltiness or anything, or because he took an L. He retired because of the date. But it's really funny that he lost once and he left. Round 4. Fucking Round 4 was utterly pathetic for me. Like, I said round 3 was a massacre towards me, but round 4 was the real massacre. I was playing against Lord Nightmon. And Lord Nightmon has piercing, which that means if they swing into a Digimon and destroy it, they still check your security. That's cool. They also have D-Digivolve 2, so that's cool as well. They can unsuspend by deleting another Digimon, so that's real cool. And last but not least, they have a new mechanic from the time that I recorded the tournament called Coalition, which lets you fucking turn all your opponent's Digimon into blockers, and your opponent is forced to block with said blockers that have just become blockers. That was so redundant. You are a dumbass. So yeah, I just couldn't keep a body on field. The Lord Nightmon was really big. Even when I had the Omegamon Ace on field, he was, I think, yeah, he was like 19, while I was 15. So yeah, no, that was just completely countered, and that was probably my shortest round. Which was really funny because when I was waiting outside of like the tournament, that I like, because like we were separated in this little other area, which was really cool. But like, I was outside. I was like in the main lobby of the shop, and I'm just like there chilling on my phone, and I look up and I see one of the guys I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Weiss with. So I go over there and I'm like, oh shit, bro, what the fuck? And like, I give him a hug. I follow him around a bit. We're like talking. We go into the regional area again. We're talking to some other people that are like on one of the extra tables. They start talking Weiss, and then he tells me, oh yeah, and like Poopy Crap's right over there. And I was like, wait, Poopy Crap's here? And he goes like, he was right next to me when you hugged me. You missed him? And I was like, no way. So I just fucking turn around, and I see this guy with like I think he was wearing like a hat backwards. I don't know. Maybe he was. I think he was actually. And he fucking, and like this emo punk shirt. And I just, without a doubt, without hesitation, I'm like, that's Poopy Crap. And I come from behind him and I just hug him while he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And just like the Poopy Crap I always know and love, motherfuckers like doesn't know who the fuck is hugging him from behind, doesn't know what's going on. He's just in the middle of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game and he's still just looking at his hand, no reaction, just like, who is it? It wasn't until I go, hi. He was like, oh. Turns around, he was like, oh my god, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm at the regional, dude. He's like, no way you're at the regional. I was like, yeah. He asked me my score. I'm like, I'm doing shit. He's like, yeah, I expected. And I was like, Ree. And he asked me like, are you here alone? And I was like, no, Jem's here. You kind of know him. Gachuga just took off after losing one. I kind of did that on purpose. He fucking kind of like stops and he's like, wait, Gachuga dropped after losing once? And I was like, nah, he dropped because he had a date and shit, but like still, like, pretty much everyone was giving Gachuga crap for like leaving, which is really fucking funny because we have our local scene giving Gachuga shit for leaving. We have the Yugi scene giving Gachuga shit for leaving. And we have me and Jen not really giving shit, but like being like, you should stay, bro. Maybe we were giving a bit of shit. Maybe. Gachuga will let us know in the comment section. But I will say this: Gachuga as a player, took an L. But Lechuga as a person took a W because he sent me a picture of his girlfriend because he dropped from the regional. He and his girlfriend were able to make it in time to this music festival that they were going to, so they could meet the lead singer of the band that Gachuga's girlfriend was really excited to go see. And like he showed me a picture of her, and like widest smile you've seen on anyone. So like for Gachuga, for Gachuga as a player, L, Lechuga as a person, huge W. And this is when Gem starts to shine. He took his first W of the game. He took his first W of the tournament. Which at this point, the only ounce of pride I had left was that I wasn't doing the worst in my group because of that one winning point in the draw. And as I explained the scoring system earlier, that means Gem now had 3 points to my 1 point.
Mock my pride!
Huh, let me tell ya, he's like a Saiyan.
I'm a killer!
So, out of the blue, I was at the bottom of the barrel. I was like, oh shit, I need 1 win at this point. I just want 1 win for myself because I don't think I can. No, I was like, if Gem loses the rest of his games, if that's his only win, and I get 1 win, I beat him by 1 point. That's what I was banking on. And that's when we jump into back in round 2, we went against a Mirage Galgamon with Grace Nova that beat me, but it was a close match, and it was a close match because I did not brick. Round 5 was against a Mirage Galgamon with Grace Nova, and I bricked. I bricked. Like, it was already a hard matchup, and I bricked. Game 1 was an easy game for him. I wonder if I brick game 2. Anyway, let's go to round 6.
That's rough, buddy.
Let's go to round 6, but before we go to round 6, I just want to announce that Gem won that round as well. So Gem took 2 wins, and we're going to round 6, which round 6 was the last one, unless you make top cut. So for me, it was end of the rope, end of the line. Gem beat me, because even if I won 1, I would have 4 points to Gem's 6 points because he won his match. So I honestly kind of just like, fuck it. I'm just playing to play now. I don't care about win or lose anymore. And that's usually how I play when I'm high. That is usually how I play when I'm high, because when I'm high, I'm willing to see that the riskier play is the play I have to think the least about. And a lot of the time, the riskier play is the good play. Throughout that whole tournament, I was playing cautiously, I was playing slow, I was doing a bunch of shit, and it didn't help getting bricked. Obviously, getting bricked was what caused me a lot of losses. But if I had played a bit more recklessly, if I had played a bit heavier cost, if I had played a bit more aggressively as well, which is all stuff that I usually do when I'm playing high, which I'm usually high when I'm playing, I'm not gonna lie. It's stuff I wasn't doing, but it's stuff I usually do when I'm playing high. And since that's the round, and since I went into round 6 with that mentality, I went up against a Grace Nova. A pure Grace Nova, though. It had some, like, little tweaks, like I saw Parasite Mon in his security, and I thought that was a bit weird. But he said he was pretty much just testing it out with the Parasite Mon, and I was like, okay. It's not like a choice that I think a lot of people would make, but hey, sometimes you just find that combo that a lot of people don't see, and it ends up being like a really good combo, and everyone's like, oh shit, I never thought about that. So hey, maybe he's onto something. But point is, I was playing silly, I was playing reckless, and I 2-0'd. I took my first and only match. I took my first and only match of the tournament, and I did it in a 2-0 fashion. The first game, like I said, I was just fucking hard playing shit. Game 1 was where I was just like, I have a tamer with Ty in his name. You said your Digimon has 7,000 DP? He's like, yeah. I was like, hard play fucking War Greymon for 8 to fucking delete that shit. Fuck you. Like I was just seriously just playing silly and shit like that, and I was like, I need to learn how to play like that. I need to like learn how to play like that when I'm without it. Cause fuck, overthinking and misplaying and shit like that is always the worst. But yeah, it was still a really fun deck. The guy that I played was really fun to talk to as well. He was also a dude that I had seen at our local area once, but I say our local area because we don't go to the locals at that shop. We go to the locals at another one just because of scheduling issues. The other shop we go to is on Fridays at 7. Well, the one at that shop is Wednesdays at 6. But that's pretty much the end of the story. I slept 3 hours so I could place 43rd out of 47. I placed 5 places higher than last place. And for like curiosity to everyone, I can actually, well, for you guys, jump cut, Gachuga, after dropping from the regionals, after round 3, with 2 wins and 1 loss, placed 31st out of 47. We then go down a little bit to 40. That is Gem Hunter, and as I just said, 43 is me. Like I said earlier, Gachuga had a chance to make top cut, but again, I don't need to repeat myself. Me, I see the improvements I need to make to the deck. I see some improvements I need to make with my playstyle. Just so I don't have these two like radically different playstyles. One where I'm just like trying to like think and see everything and be like cautionary about everything, and then the other one that just fucking throws shit at the wind. And throwing shit at the wind tends to work more apparently. So maybe that's why I play Machinedramon a lot. But I do know like stuff that I need to tweak around the deck. I'm gonna be playing that deck a lot more because I really like the way that deck came out. And I know with a couple of switches around, like getting rid of the Blitz Omegamons probably would give me more consistency and speed it up a bit. But yeah, after 3 hours of sleep, going 1-4-1, which that is 1 win, 4 losses, and 1 tie, placing 43rd out of 47. I mean, I got the Death Xmon out of my pack, so I think I ended up winning. Not gonna lie, I feel like fucking shit. I hope you all enjoyed that. That's like my first ever like story time video I've ever uploaded. I went a little bit harder on the editing than I wanted to, which is like why it didn't come out in the intended time frame that I wanted. I wanted it to come out on Friday, Saturday at the latest, so like a fucking week after the regional at the latest, pretty much. And I mean, I kind of made it. It's Monday, being uploaded on Monday, being finished recorded and edited on Monday. Yeah, I haven't. I think I did something worse than the fuck. Mustang! Yeah, I've been listening to Kendrick a lot as well. I might have done something worse than what I just finished telling you guys. Don't worry, I have showered. Yeah, like I know I'm wearing the exact same thing, but this is the same clothes after being pulled out of the washer and everything. Trust me, like, I'm even wearing different pants. I'm not gonna show you, because no, the camera stays there. But I do feel like shit, because like, I think I've been up for like 36 hours straight, and in the middle, like in between those 36 hours, I went to donate plasma, so that took a lot out of me, and then like, it was all just fucking editing and making sure the video was done. And I forgot to mention a couple of things. Like, one of the things I ended up mentioning is setting up the like, oh yeah, it was funny that I wasn't even the most caffeinated person in the regionals, and that was one of our other local players, one of the chicken's friends. Me and Jem noticed that he had that he was drinking gamer subs. And since we tend to drink a lot of gamer subs as well, we were like, hey, yo, what flavor are you drinking, bro? He tells the flavor and shit, and it's like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm like, I think this is like my 5th or 6th cup. I can't even remember. I'm like so caffeinated. Like, I think I even had a Monster or something. And I was like, 6th cup? How many scoops are you doing on that, bro? And he was like, oh, 2 per cup. And I was like, the fuck, isn't the recommended amount or like the limit amount 4 scoops? So that means it was like around 10. He drank a lot, around 10 to 12 scoops of gamer subs. And last thing, I also mentioned that I was gonna be playing a lot more of the Omegamon deck. I do plan on playing that a lot more, but I ended up kind of being able to combine both these decks. It's kind of janky, but I've been able to like speed it up and make it pretty consistent. Where I think I've taken fewer L's than dubs. Like, I don't want to say I haven't taken an L with this deck, because I know Gachuga beat this deck. But like in online matches and net decking, I don't recall it taking an L yet, like against a random deck. It beat a lot of the decks that I saw at the regional, so hey, maybe if I had ended up cooking this deck instead, could have done a bit better, but who knows. That's pretty much it. Just thank you all for watching. If you watched to the very end, comment, yo bro, stop making so many decks, or I don't know. Yeah, actually that, because like, I clearly needed to just like grab one deck and just practice it. Fear one man that practices the same move over and over, over a man with like multiple techniques or something like that. I don't know how the saying goes. I've been up for way too long. I've been editing this shit. I just finished. I still gotta wait for this part to render and to fucking upload it. So I'm gonna go do that and hopefully get some sleep. I'll see y'all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. A lot of things coming. Well, maybe around the same amount of things coming out in September, but a lot higher quality. A lot higher quality, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Check out the Twitch. We're currently about to finish completing Shadow Generations 100%. So that's gonna be cool. If you all be there for that, Twitch.tv. You heard Amy Rose earlier in the video. I'll see you all later.